Day 13, back in the Well Stand studio. I'm Scott Duke. You're tuned into the 44-day challenge, where we are reviewing books on how to sell your business and getting the information out to you where it's most useful. All right, super excited about this book, Sell Your Business for the Max. It's actually interesting how many books that we're reviewing that use the exclamation mark at some point in their title. But this book, although when you look at it, it's quite interesting. Every book is a little bit different. And this is almost like a high school binder. It's just regular paper throughout it. And I kind of thought, we'll see what we get out of this one, because I was definitely judging it by the cover. But Steve Kaplan, who's the author of this book, this guy is 100% the real deal. Been involved in 100 big transactions, sold a lot of his own companies as well, and the information that was garnered from this is very valuable. Now, what I would do is I would suggest this book for anybody who is looking for a step-by-step process for getting through a transaction, because that's how it's laid out. And really to the point of even having worksheets that you fill out. So it is very much like kind of going back to school and working your way through an assignment. But selling your business really is the biggest assignment of your life and will likely be the largest transaction you ever have. So it's not a bad format for a book. Usually when we review these books, we'll start off with the 3 knowledge nuggets. I'm gonna do it in reverse a bit, because I'm gonna go to the whiteboard for some of the stuff, because out of this, we pulled an example of how to know when to sell your business. And every book that we're reviewing, it doesn't matter which one it is, that seems to be a chapter in the book, knowing when to sell. But Steve has given the best example using a Venn diagram, and I think it's worthwhile to go over to the board to show that. So we're gonna do that at the end of today's 44-day challenge. But starting off, I'm going to read you a quote that's going to lead us into some of his other nuggets, because I really like this quote. There's an old saying in the legal profession: anyone who acts as his own lawyer in a court of law has a fool for a client. I think a similar principle applies when you're selling your business. Now, I'm not going to say no one's ever done it successfully, but if you want to get the best deal, you'd be well advised to get some expert help, preferably in the form of a team of dedicated players who will do the legwork and support you at every turn. It's a scary, dangerous world out there if you're on your own with no experience. He drills home the team throughout the book. And that's gonna be knowledge nugget number 1. Put together a good team. I've touched base on this. I don't know what episode. I feel like it was episode 2. But I'm gonna touch base again because he highlights some other team members that are important. Ideally, your team will have the following specialists: tax advisor, accountant, financial planning advisor, attorney, mentor, representative or agent, and others that may apply. The ones that are different from what we've reported on before is tax advisor. Getting a tax advisor on your team is huge. This is going to be, once you sell your business, a major tax event. So having a tax advisor, definitely a good suggestion. And I have touched base on financial advisor before. This is, at the end of the day, you're going to get a whack sum of cash, and you need a financial advisor to know what to best do with it. And then the other one is a mentor. Find somebody who sold their business before that had a similar business size as you, and they can help just giving you advice throughout the process from a seller's perspective. So that's putting together a good team. The next knowledge nugget surrounds the team as well, and it's team communication. And this one's interesting because I'd never read this in any of the other books thus far, or had come across it in any of my courses, but I think it's a fantastic idea, and it's using code names. So he says, regardless of the size of the deal, create a name for the selling project and another code name for prospective buyers. And I always have this problem when I'm dealing with lawyers, accountants, other financial planners that are involved in the deal. You want to refer to the deal, but you don't want to, here's a perfect example. You call the lawyer's office and you're going to get the administrator. And the administrator is going to ask, who are you? What are you calling about? So I'm going to say, I'm Scott Duke and I'm calling about X deal. And in that one moment, I'm revealing the actual company that is going to be sold. Bad news, can't do it. So what I've been doing in the past before is you're just saying, oh, I really got to talk to him, or it's about a confidential matter. It makes you look a little bit weird. So if you have a code name for the business that you're selling and also for the buyer that you're dealing with, how great is that? And use it throughout all your communication. The next is having a team contact list and sending that out to everybody. So everybody has each contact for the accountant, lawyer, your financial planner, your personal tax advisor, your business tax advisor. So everybody knows when they need to reach out to an individual in the team that they have their contact information. The next quote, we're heading all the way over to page 157. I started tabbing these things to make it easier to get to them. And it's around loose lips sink ships. If you don't want all of your employees to know something, don't tell any of them. And how we know this, how true is it? When you tell one person, you might as well be telling everybody. So just remember, confidentiality is so critical. Do not tell anybody. Unless you have a confidant that you need to tell that's your business partner or someone that's high up in the organization that you need to help with a transaction. But for the average employee, there is no need for them to know until the transaction completes. All right, let's head over to the board so we can finish up with how to know exactly when you should sell your company. How to know exactly when to sell your property by Steve Kaplan, coming out of Sell Your Business for the Max. Absolutely love this diagram because it ties everything together and takes all the key components and visualizes it in a Venn diagram. So here we go. You want your business to first be operating at the most profitable point it can be. It's got to be humming, and you want it to have been increasing profitability over the last couple of years, and everything's really fine-tuned and going. So that's the biggest circle in the Venn diagram. Your business needs to be operating profitably. Then you bring in industry. So this is the marketplace. Is your industry growing at this point and showing promise for the future? Then next is the economy. What's the economy doing? Is it a buyer's economy? Is it a seller's economy? We want to make sure that the economy is doing well if we're trying to completely maximize. And then last is personal, and this is really important, and every book we've read this far kind of hits this nail a bit. You need to be prepared to sell your company. It's got to be the right time for you personally. So if you get all of these things in line, you get, this is the zone right here where everything's just absolutely perfect, and that's the time to sell, and that's when you're going to get the absolute most profit for your company. And I guess you could also toss in there having some competitive bidding, because that's going to make a big difference too. But these are the major pieces to know when you should sell your company to hit the absolute max profit. All right, guys, that was day 13 of the 44-day challenge. We'll see you tomorrow while we review another book and get more great knowledge like this out to you on how to better the chances of selling your company successfully.